All right, let's talk about a space that, for so many of us, is just part of our daily routine. It's that familiar backdrop to modern life. I'm talking, of course, about the coffee shop. You can almost picture it right now, can't you? That hiss from the espresso machine, the quiet hum of conversation, the click-clack of keyboards. You've got commuters dashing in for a quick cup, and then right there, next to them, are the remote workers settling in for the long haul with their laptops and headphones. But have you ever really stopped to think about what that space is? What it truly represents? Because it's become so much more than just a place to get your caffeine fix. So what is its actual purpose in our society? Well, the answer, it turns out, lies in this really powerful idea from sociology. The coffee shop, you see, has basically evolved into what we call a third place. So what's a third place? It's really just a social spot that's not your home, that's your first place. And it's not your job, your second place. It's that super important neutral ground that exists somewhere in between the two. I mean, think about it for a second. Home, that's our private space, right? It's personal. And work? Well, work is usually pretty formal, and it's definitely demanding. Both of those places come with their own unique pressures. So we kind of need a space that's free from all that. And that's exactly where the coffee shop fits in. It's public, but you can still be anonymous. It's so flexible, right? You can pop in for 5 minutes or camp out for 5 hours. And best of all, it's wonderfully low stakes. It's just that quiet, reliable space where you're allowed to just be. So this all leads to one of the coffee shop's most amazing tricks. Its ability to wear all these different hats, and a lot of the time, all at once. Okay, so for a ton of people, especially now with hybrid work being so common, it's basically a flexible office. It gives you a place to focus without feeling totally isolated like you sometimes can at home. It's really that perfect mix of quiet concentration and just ambient energy. But here's the cool part. At the very same time someone's working, it's also this vibrant community hub. It plays this super important social role, acting as a sort of stage for all those little casual connections that really hold a neighborhood together. And you see this stuff in action all the time, right? People meeting up for a quick chat, maybe swapping book recommendations, or glancing at the community board to see what's going on. And that tiny little human touch, when the barista remembers your usual order, that, even in a huge city, that makes you feel like you belong. And look, beyond all the practical stuff, there's a whole emotional thing going on too. This quote just nails it. That simple sensory comfort. It's that feeling of warmth, of routine, that gentle feeling that, okay, yeah, life is ticking along. Okay, but it's not all cozy and perfect. The modern coffee shop actually reflects some really big tensions in our culture and economy, and that can create a few cracks in that whole comforting vibe. So first up, you've got this sort of unspoken tug of war between the customer and the owner. We all want a welcoming space, right? But how long is it okay to sit at a table after buying just one coffee? It's a genuine dilemma, balancing that sense of hospitality with the simple fact that it costs money to keep the lights on. And then there's this other push and pull, the one between being a genuine neighborhood hangout and being, Instagrammable. I mean, with so much competition out there, a lot of new places are designed to look amazing on social media. But you have to wonder, does that perfectly curated look squeeze out the authentic local character? And finally, there's the whole sustainability question. Look, it's great that a lot of cafes push reusable cups, but the reality? Packaging waste is still a massive part of their day-to-day. It's this constant balancing act between what's easy for us and what's right for the planet. So with all these challenges, you might be asking, why are coffee shops still so popular? Why do they keep thriving? Well, it's because what they offer at their core is more important now than maybe ever before. They give us this incredibly flexible space for everything we've just been talking about, for getting some work done, for the chance of a casual chat with a friend, or just for taking a simple, quiet moment for ourselves. And what's really amazing when you think about it is that all of these completely different needs, work, friends, being alone, they can all be satisfied in just one visit. That adaptability, that's its real superpower. When you think about how rushed and disconnected our modern lives can feel, it's pretty hard to deny the quiet power of a place that seems so ordinary. At the end of the day, it gives us a bit of connection and a bit of calm, right when we need it the most. So that leaves us with one last thing to think about. The coffee shop is the classic example, of course, but these third places can be anywhere. A library, a park, maybe a local community center. So I'll leave you with this question. In your life, what's your third place?